I'm doing Morrison. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So growing up, I grew up with my mom and my siblings. I think I have 3 sisters and a brother on my mom's side, and I have 2 little sisters on my dad's side. I grew up with my mom and my sisters and my brother my entire life. There were times where we'd go to my dad's house, for the weekend when I was younger. Then as I got older, that stopped happening. So I just spent a lot of my time with my mom, seeing what it's like being a single mother, seeing how hard she works. So that's been my upbringing, is watching such a strong woman take care of 5 kids by herself. Growing up in a low-income home, oddly enough, was kind of fun because I wasn't completely aware of what was happening around me. So when you're in that kind of environment, everybody knows each other. It's really fun. Everybody's outside playing. It just really is a fun experience until it gets dark outside. And your mama say come in the house and you're wondering, what's so bad playing outside at late night? And then you start hearing things. You start hearing gunshots. You start seeing things. You start seeing the police sirens happening. And then that's when the lights come on. And it's like, okay, now I understand these things. I was bullied. I was bullied throughout school because I focused more on my books. I focused more on my grades. I focused on, the important stuff to me as opposed to what shoes I'm rocking. I went to Philip Berry High School, and at the time there were 3 ambassadors. So I found out that they're hosting this little info session during our lunches. So I say, okay, cool, I'll go. And Mr. Martin plays this game I call it knockout. Everybody stands up, right? And then he starts knocking out who has the 3.0 GPA. Everybody standing. Who has a 3.5 GPA? People sit down. We get up to a 5.0 GPA average. And I'm like, people do that? People have that? Black men have that? What drew me was the celebration of young black men's success outside of the football field or basketball court or any sports arena. That's what really drew me to the organization. North Carolina A&T was the best year of my life. I went to that school. I loved everything about that school. I was a part of the award-winning North Carolina A&T Fellowship Gospel Choir. I was a dancer in the Eagle Dance Company. I was a student and tutored in Martina Hall for engineering. I loved North Carolina A&T. So came time, I registered for classes for the fall semester of 2018. And I realized that I didn't have a schedule. I didn't have the things, I didn't have housing. I'm like, okay, so what's the disconnect here? So I called financial aid and I called housing and I called admissions. I called everyone. I went through the list. I said, so what's going on here? Got on the phone with financial aid. Well, it says here on your account you owe $3,500. Okay, well, I said, okay, $3,500, but by when? Like, by Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock on Monday. Like I said, where I come from, I made it to A&T on scholarships and loans, and student loans. I didn't have $3,500 in my pocket to, all right, cool, I'll see you when fall semester starts. So, and how it felt, I was heartbroken. So I took a semester off, that fall semester, I took that semester off. And during that time I worked and I said, well, I'll just go back spring semester. And I never made it back. And so I said, you know what, stop thinking about A&T. Think about your future as a whole. And I just think that when I focused on my ultimate goal, when I focused on the end and where I was trying to get to and not how I needed to get there, that's what really got me in gear. It said, okay, well, it doesn't matter how you do it, but you gotta do it.